The Karen Show. The Karen Show. The Karen Show. Let's go. Let's go. The Karen Show.
Sleep texting. What is it and why do we do it? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're asleep. You may have your phone handy enough, close enough to you that in your sleep state or even in a semi-conscious state, you grab your phone and you attempt to send or sometimes indeed send a text message. So how does it happen? Well, sleep texting occurs during a sort of weird overlap of sleep stages, usually in the lighter stages of sleep, like stage 1 or 2. So your brain can be just alert enough to perform a familiar task, like texting. So because we're in a semi-conscious state or asleep, we don't remember that we've done it. We're not conscious enough to keep that as a memory and realise, oh my God, I think I sent a text message when I was asleep. So you don't know you've done it. How does this happen? So even though you're asleep, like how does it happen that you actually pick up your phone, open it up, the light can hit your face and you'll do whatever? Well, apparently they sort of think it's kind of like muscle memory. They say it plays a big role. So if you're used to unlocking your phone and typing, your hands might just go through the motions. Sometimes it's triggered by a dream, as in my case, which you'll learn in a little few moments. Or you're asleep and you hear a text notification noise, and so that sort of triggers you to react, and it triggers something in your brain to go through these muscle memory motions. The messages are often just jumbled or incomplete or just really bizarre. But occasionally it is said and has been shown that they do make a little bit of sense, especially if you're replying to something that you were thinking about before bed. And why do we do it? Well, there's no single why apparently, but a few factors can contribute to it. So habit, because texting's sort of second nature nowadays. Sleep disruption, anxiety, irregular sleep schedules, keeping your phone too close to your bed, things like that. And of course, because if your phone is too close to your bed, if it makes a noise or something, even you're half asleep, you might react and pick up your telephone. And dream influence, which was obviously what happened to me. So if you're dreaming about texting or hear a phantom buzz, it might sort of nudge your body into acting it out. Now, apparently it's not fully understood why we do it because sleep behaviours are tricky to study, but most evidence comes from people self-reporting after the fact. So far as my experience, here's me retelling it to my friend Carla and my very good friend Enzo. You make up your own mind. The night of the when I had no power. So I had no power. I had my phone on the bed next to me. I had no internet. I had nothing. So I was just checking my phone every now and then to see if the power was coming on, because if the power comes back on, I'll get some internet. Well, middle of the night, I hear like a ding. I got woken up. There was a ding on my phone, and I thought, and I was asleep, and I thought, power might be back on. But I remember I turned a light on so that if the power came back on, I'd know. So there were no lights on, but I heard my phone go ding, and I thought, I've got no signal. How's it going ding? Anyway, I picked up the phone just to check what was going on, opened it up, and on the thing was a text message box. I had opened up the text message, but I hadn't opened up a text message, if that makes sense. I just opened my screen and there was a text message window and there was no message, but it looked like I had written something and it was all funny. I'll put a picture up, but it was like JL, JK, JMNN, JK. It was just really weird. But the weirder thing was who the text message was to. My son, Stephen, whose phone number is still in my phone. His phone number is still in there. I haven't looked at it for ages. It's just that, some things I don't delete, like his bank account details when he would ask for money. I still have his bank account details in my bank so I could transfer him money. But I stared at it for the longest time and I thought, I buy Mysteries Untold. I kind of thought, how? I don't understand how that happened and why him. It was the weirdest thing. So I will put a picture of it. I've screenshotted it. I just don't understand. I went to bed. My phone was on my bedside table as usual. Checked it. Blah blah blah. Turned the screen off. Stuck it. And to be woken up, it was around about 1, 2 in the morning when that happened. That I got woken up. But I don't understand randomly why his number, why not someone else's number that I use all the time, maybe. But it was just Stephen's phone number, nothing from him, obviously, because he's not with us any longer. But I don't know if maybe when I was asleep, does your phone hear you? Did I say something out loud in my sleep, like call Stephen or text Stephen? Like, I don't even know. My phone doesn't even do that. It doesn't do that like an Apple phone does, I think. So I don't know what that was, and I still can't explain it. And that's why I mean that sometimes things happen and you think, what the? How does that even happen? I don't know, but I'll put it up later. It'll be in the community. I'll just make a post and you can see what I'm talking about. It was really just weird. So if anyone's got any ideas on how that could happen, that you would open up your phone and there's a text message from your dead son from a number you haven't called in over 5 years, like it just made no sense. Any ideas? Because I've got none.
I would
It's
say
weird.
that you out of body text him, like you were trying to message him.
Yeah, because I had been.
I think that's hard to believe, but
no,
I bet
maybe you're.
Like, I don't think we stay in our bodies when we're like sleeping. I think we're alive, but
our consciousness, yeah.
I think you were trying to message him, like in your
well, do you know
subconscious.
what? Subconsciously, and maybe I did it without realizing, and not knowing I did it.
You were trying to
because
talk to
I had,
son.
Yeah, and I had noticed the last couple of weeks when I do dream, I've been dreaming about him and us looking for, I'm going to get upset, looking for houses and finding him a room. Like, what room would you like, Stephen? And having conversations in the dream. And he wants that room, you know, or can I have the one with the fridge? So maybe I did. Maybe I did.
Maybe.
He's been on your mind a lot.
He has. So maybe I did. That is a possibility because I was asleep, maybe without realizing I picked up the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be a process, though. I would have had to have opened up the phone, found his number, and gone to write a message. But like you're saying, if I was in a state of not really being awake or asleep, but I mean, people sleepwalk, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And don't realize.
I mean, legit do that. So I bet you were
legitimately walk in their sleep and have no idea. So maybe I did. That's, you know what? Maybe I did. Maybe I picked up the phone, found his number, and because I'm not with it, that's why it's just been JJKKMMM, whatever, because I'm not really making any sense. But that's
it doesn't
weird.
have to be. It doesn't have to. Like, we try to make sense, but I think like your subconscious doesn't have to make sense. What you're trying to tell him.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Well, probably, yeah. So, but yes, I have been thinking about him a lot lately. So there you go. Never goes away. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm a Debbie Downer. Do it, Enzo. Do it, Enzo. Yeah, I'm a Debbie Downer. But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, actually, you know what? Thank you, Carla, because that's probably that is actually a pretty logical thing, isn't it? That's probably because it was coming from me. It wasn't like there was a funny message from him. It was me trying to message him.
Yeah, when
Interesting.
you weren't awake, you were just doing, subconsciously doing that, messaging your boy because you wanted to tell him something. And he's been on your
Yeah.
mind, so that makes sense.
Oh,
That's
thank
so
you.
sweet.
Actually, you know what? Thank you. I'm glad I mentioned it because it's been driving me nuts not working, trying to work why that. And that probably explains why when I opened the phone up, I hadn't hit send on the message, but when I opened up the phone, it was there. That's why,
Oh,
because I've obviously opened up the phone in my sleep. Oh, that's weird. Lucky I didn't send any rude pictures to you, Enzo. I better watch what I do with my phone when I'm asleep. I've probably done that, and then put my phone back down in my sleep, and that's why that window has still been there because I was doing it. That makes perfect sense. Thank you, Carla.
you're
I'm not going
welcome.
crazy. But do you
No,
see
you're
what I
not.
mean? And actually, that's a really good point as to why we as human beings do search out that strange stuff, because I bet that's been worrying me for ages, but that makes perfect sense. But given that you can do that when you're half asleep or asleep and
Yeah.
you're doing it like sleepwalking, so there's many, many things. So that's why I guess the paranormal still really does interest me. It's
Yeah.
just on different levels on what is our consciousness able to do when we're asleep.
Right?
But yeah, so there you go. It's a thing.
I don't